Today is February 1st, and I don't know about you, but January took forever, and it wasn't easy. It was overwhelming. There was a lot of pressure to make changes, and although I spent the month of January really wrestling around with my finances, I now am approaching February with a really clear mindset that actually feels a lot more productive, a lot calmer, and I wanted to just share a few ideas I have if you are looking to start your own budget. So, here we go. I think a lot of us want to start a budget because we have acknowledged that there are changes we need to make. Whether these are changes that feel like more of a necessity, or these might be changes that are helping you work towards a goal, like adding in more trips, purchasing something, but yeah, that piece is going to look different for everyone. And I think we often dive in and skip a few steps. And what's been really helpful for me is, when I first started this account, which was only a month ago, I wanted to dive into a budget. I wanted to really structure my spending around specific goals. And I realized that I didn't even know what I was spending. I had no idea where to even start building a budget. So I would say that the best way to start is to spend at least 1 month. I would suggest 2 because there's always exceptions. Spend time tracking your expenses. And this was the hardest, most humbling experience because I went through every single line of my credit card statement, of my online banking. I looked at every single bill line by line. That helped inform my decision around what I could change, what was working, what I could cut out completely. So that would be step 1. Just track your spending. Step 2 has been examining my spending really honestly, without judgment, and looking at what I could cut out. So this wasn't so much about where I could shave, so say for example a grocery bill. I wasn't even looking at my grocery bill yet. I was looking at what are things I can eliminate completely. So I canceled my Prime subscription. I re-examined my Apple iTunes subscription. I canceled a probiotic subscription. So for me, it was a lot of subscriptions. There was a lot of things that I was spending monthly. This is going to look different for you. But my step 2 was, what can I eliminate? What can be gone? I am currently on step 3, and I am spending a bit more time on this. So this is kind of what my focus for January was, and I anticipate February looking similarly in that I am trying to cut down my costs in the categories that I've decided to keep. So I've eliminated the excess, but now I'm looking at ways to shrink down the numbers in the categories that I am keeping. So this is where my grocery bill comes into play. So I was noticing that I was spending, at least $60 or $70 every time I went to the grocery store. And now I'm just seeing, where is the wiggle room? What can I bring down comfortably? So this isn't about depriving yourself of essential needs. This is just about being a little bit more strategic when you're making those purchases. So that is where I'm currently at, is my version of step 3. 4 is where I'm headed, and that is with all of this knowledge. So I have now tracked my spending, I have eliminated the excess, and I've been shrinking down my numbers. And now I'm in the position to really set out clear budget goals for my category. So I could say I allocate X amount to X expense every month. And that is also taking into consideration your monthly income. So I have to be mindful that I have a limited income coming in. And so my budget will be guided by that. So that would be step 4. Step 5 is basically the sustaining phase. So it is maintaining your budget, and it is living within those parameters indefinitely until you're ready to make changes. This may be where you can start approaching a savings or an investment plan a little bit easier, because it's way easier to even see where that would be coming from. But this is going to be really personal around your goals. Maybe you're saving up for a house, maybe you are looking into a different career path. Like, this is where you can approach some of these larger decisions around where you want your money to go, knowing that you have all your bases covered. So this is more like, okay, I'm out of the like muck and I'm beginning to see the sun, and what do I want that time to look like? This is all so subjective. This is very, very personal, and it's not going to work for everybody. I have to acknowledge that I am a single person, living in a pretty expensive city. I'm working in a nonprofit world. Like, I don't have any kids. So there are going to be big differences on how we all approach this. So I want you to know that, like, I am by no means a standardized example. I'm a very unique, specific example. So you have to be super gentle on yourself as you approach this from your life and your goals. But it has been a really gentle structure for me to follow, because I'm taking my time, and there is no timeline. It's super dependent on how much time and energy you can put into it. Lots of life circumstance will take a role in this. So I hope there are pieces of this 5-step process that resonate with you. Maybe not all 5 steps will, but I figured it was worth sharing, because I know at least one of you will take at least one little nugget away.